Hi, this is Sherron, the Modern Savvy CPA, and we are continuing our series on financial literacy, our 10 hot topics. Last week we covered debt in our 2 videos, and this week we are covering credit. So there is differences between debt and credit. And of course, all of our topics are interchangeable. They complement each other, supplement each other in different ways. So before I begin talking about credit and what we need to understand about the credit today, again, on the second half of our second video, we're going to have a guest, and her stage name is Credit Christie. So she's going to give us some knowledge and some myths and things like that you need to understand on your path to financial literacy about credit. So first, I want to go over with you guys something that I want to talk to you about when it comes to, I believe that everything we do with our emotions. It's impossible for us to take ourselves out of emotion, our emotions out of things. So, we try to be as objective as possible, but I believe that since, we're human beings, so by default, our emotions come into play whether we realize it or not. So one of the things I want to go over with you guys, even before we start talking about credit, is when people confuse needs and wants. When us as human beings confuse needs and wants. So on our financial literacy path, on our financial literacy journey, we need to constantly remind ourselves the difference between needs and wants. Now, living in America, you can have the American dream, and everything that you need is possible, no matter what socioeconomics you live in or you are in. But a lot of times we confuse the things that we need, and we make them things that we believe, we put our emotions in it, and we make that a need become a want. And there are many ways that we do that. Okay, for example, people need food to live, but going to a restaurant for a meal is a want. Right? You need to have food in your body. You need to have sustenance. Which restaurant you go to McDonald's, you go to, you make that choice as to where you get your need from. And when, you have to meet your needs, but you make your choice as to where you get your need from. And when depending on where you get that need from, the affordability is what makes it a want. So, you need food to survive. The cost of your food bill could be a few $100s a month, a few $1,000s a month, tens of thousands of dollars a month. You still need food to survive. So you make that choice as to what your need, what your needs are. That does not change. You need food to live, to survive, sustenance. Making that a want is putting in affordability into that situation. So yes, we need food to survive. What scale of our dining, or what scale of what we put our body in, can range from a 99-cent burger or a $500 Wagyu steak. So either one of those things would satisfy the need for the food that we need to live. But it's up to you to decide which one. So it's the same situation that comes in numerous ways. We need clothes to put on our body. We can go to Ross and buy what they have there, or Walmart and go what they have there. We can go to Saks. We can go to any of the LVMH places and get that. So it depends. I need a purse. I can go get a purse for $20, or I can go get a purse for $20,000. The need is the purse. It's not the LVMH purse or the YSL purse. So you need a purse to walk around with. The want comes in every situation that we need. The one that I notice a lot is we need a car to go around with. We live here in Florida. I need a car because we don't have much public transportation. What kind of car you get can make or break your budget. Whether you lease or buy the car can make or break your budget. The credit comes in as to the interest rate on that car. So, whether you buy the used car or, you need a car. The want comes about is to what kind of car you want. So we have to try and make our money mindset to understand there's a need for a car. There's not a need for a Mercedes Benz. There's a need for a pair of shorts. There's not a need for a pair of Gucci shorts. There's a need for food that we can make a nice piece of salmon or a piece of chicken at home. There's not a need for us to go have that a piece of steak or a piece of salmon at the Breakers in Palm Beach here. So you have to understand what your needs are and how they compare to what you want. Most of the things in life can be converted into a want. So you have to understand need is what your necessity is. The word need comes from necessity, comes from the word need. So getting into the habit of understanding and justifying what you're purchasing and making sure that you're not labeling it as a need, allowing you to understand what your financial choice is. Adjust your money mindset. Always adjusting your money mindset so you understand you're wiser about the things that you're getting. I am not telling you not to get what you need. I am telling you that the need of something can vary from $1 to $100,000. It depends. Because this is America. You can furnish your home from Walmart or IKEA. I furnished my son's condo for his school from IKEA. I can't even tell you how cheap that was. But that I could have gone to Restoration Hardware or, I would have gotten furniture. It would have served the same purpose. But there was a need and there was a want. He needed furniture to go to in his house. He needed a couch to sit in, a bed, dishes. We got that taken care of with the bare minimum of what he needs. There's no luxury involved in that situation. So that's the thing. When you're thinking about wants, you have to remember the word luxury. It has to be, you have to do that. So let's move on to talking about credit. Credit refers to the ability to borrow money. So when people talk about credit, they're talking about either their credit report or their credit score, which we're going to go dig deep into those when we talk about it. So, I know we've heard a lot about how bad credit is good for you. My point of talking about this is anything can be bad for you if you do not use it correctly. If you use your stove correctly and you cook your food at the right heat, the heat is good, your food comes out good. If you use your stove and you cook your food at the wrong heat, your food will be bad for you. So anything in my understanding and my world and my motto of living is anything not used in moderation is going to be bad for you. So you need to understand, if credit is used properly, it gives you financial power. This is America. When my dad first came here and he wanted to start using credit, he wanted to buy a car. He couldn't buy the car because he had no credit. So no one knows what his responsibilities are and what his track record is. Your credit report and your credit score is your track record. When you get credit, people are investing in you. So if you're the person, they have to know what they're investing in. The way they vet you is by looking at your past credit, your credit report, your credit score, which is involves many things. But it is your ability for them to trust you. That's the level of trust that they would have for you. The better your credit report and the better your score is, the cost of your credit will be less because you have a track record of paying back. your credit. You have a track record of being responsible. So anything is just like a driver's license. If your driver's license, you take a test to get on your driver's license. If your driver's license has DUIs and different things on it, then your insurance will be higher. You'll have points on your driver's license. Everything, if not used responsible, will cost you more in the long run. So it's make sure that you understand, what you're getting, what needs you're getting, and the things that you need. Credit is a tool. It can be good. It can be problematic. If you are using it effectively, credit will be a reliable credit report will earn you good credit score, which helps you build your wealth and allow you businesses to invest in you. So this is the way, the banks will invest in you, the businesses will invest in you. Although credit clearly has an important role in playing and maintaining the economy, you still have to wonder why you need credit as an individual. Then let me tell you, loans are a necessary part of life in many ways, according to the American Credit Council, Consumer Credit Council. Loans enable you to build your wealth by allowing people to pay for college, increase their earning power, buy homes, benefit from property, which benefits you from property values, and help you start business. Having access to credit is really, really important, to help in emergencies. Sometimes we don't have all of our emergency fund. If you have really good credit, you can get 0%. You can pay, less for your credit. It can be something that if used properly, can be used for unforeseen circumstances in situations when you have temporary access to your cash flow. Assessing credit is important. So you got to make sure in today's society, they look at all your credit reports. There are 3 credit reporting agencies. They behave similar. They look at your risk. How risky are you to lend money? If you have a good track record where you are paying your bills for years and years to come, and you're paying them on time, and you're using your credit wisely, then people will invest with you, and they don't have that much of a risk on you. So your credit interest rate will be lower. In the difference, if you do not have a good track record and you have issues where you're not being responsible and you're not using your credit wisely, then your credit interest rate will be higher. I was just talking to someone the other day, and they're telling me that they got a car loan at 16%, which is unheard of, in my opinion. So I don't know what their credit score is like, but a car loan at 16%, in my opinion, is usury. But, if you were responsible with your credit, that should never be the situation. So, there are 2 components with your credit score and your credit report. Your score is your long-term, it involves many different things. Your length of credit, the variety of credits you have, whether it's a home loan, a car loan, a credit card, other revolving debt, student loan, everything is scored in a different way. So, if your credit score is low, you would be denied credit or won't be able. It can be the make or break or getting into your first home. And as you guys know, if you have been following me and looking at me, you understand and you know that my belief is when you're paying rent, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. So let's talk about rent. If you do not have a good credit score, it can impede you from getting an apartment because your credit score is not good, and so the landlord cannot depend on you. So you won't even get into a home that you would be buying. You'd have issues even renting. So, whether when you're renting, you're not taking out a loan, but your credit score is your history of whether you're paying responsibly. So things that you need to look at that are not loans are rent, your insurance, your car insurance. That is how a credit score helps you. So a credit score is really important. The other thing it's important too is other risk is basically when you're borrowing, the cost of it, the fees, the interest that we talked about before can change dramatically. Credit No credit or bad credit costs you money. So you cannot avoid this. You cannot avoid having credit, but you can avoid having bad credit. So to avoid problems, you should limit your borrowing and take out loans only if it can easily be paid back. So you have to assess your situation by assessing your needs and wants. Yes, you need a car, but why do you need a car for a Mercedes? So if you intend to buy a house, then you should be getting your bare necessities of a car. So the bottom line that I want to tell you, talk to you guys about is good credit can be most beneficial to you. It's in our American society that we live in, credit is a part of our society. If you speak to anyone that is building their wealth or is successful in the financial industry or is successful with just their life goals, they will tell you that, it's a part of society. You need to understand. You need to make yourself literate about it. You need to understand from the beginning what bad credit is, what good credit is. You need to be aware of how it can help you, how it can't help you. The main thing you need to be aware of is it's important that you understand that if you are not responsible, you will pay for it later. One of my other sayings is, nothing is for free. Nothing is for free. Either you're going to pay for it now, you're going to pay for it later, your neighbor is going to pay for it, and sometimes you're the neighbor paying for your neighbor. So nothing in this world for free. If you're responsible about your credit, then you're good. You're being responsible, you're paying for it there. If you're not responsible, you're going to pay interest on it later. If society is a certain way, then, you might be paying for somebody else for having bad credit because of the overall situation that we're in. So you need to make sure. So the bottom line of what I'm saying before we go on to the next half of my video, or our session today, not video, session today, is to make sure that you understand that without credit, it can be difficult to live in a U.S. economy, okay? Getting by without credit can be difficult because the U.S. economy is credit-based. Without the ability to borrow and without a positive credit history, you may not be able to buy big purchases, get your college education, build your wealth, understand all the different things that you need to do. So on that note, we're going to head into our second half of our video with Christy, the credit lady.